Steve Garvey challenges Adam Schiff to a debate in the U.S. Senate race here in California. What's Schiff's response? We've got it coming up. Plus, Gavin Newsom unveils his own podcast. He's got a new show, a podcast, and he thinks you should listen to it. We've got a sneak peek, and we give you our take on it. Coming up, all that and more. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and we're going to get to the Gavin Newsom podcast in just a minute. You better get your barf bags ready. It's completely nauseating. But first, we are excited that Steve Garvey is running for U.S. Senate here in California. We support him at Reform California. We endorsed him in the primary, and we believe that he's going to bring some new energy into this race. He actually raised more money in the second quarter of this year than Adam Schiff did, which was a big surprise. Political observers were not seeing that one coming. Not that I think that Garvey's running a very good campaign. I think he needs to get out there more. But I'm glad to see this latest announcement from the Garvey campaign. Here is Steve Garvey this week on Twitter. Breaking, Steve Garvey agrees to 2 statewide general election debates. This is for the Senate race against shifty Adam Schiff. It says, these debates are an opportunity for the people of California to hear directly from us about the issues that matter most. KABC Los Angeles and the League of Women Voters California is offering the first debate. And it's with the ABC affiliates throughout the state and Univision. Then Nexstar, which owns a bunch of local stations in California, Nexstar Media Group, they also will be doing a debate. And those are on Fox affiliates and some independent stations, the WB. Those are the 2 debates that Steve Garvey has agreed to. Those are not conservative outlets. So Adam Schiff, you would think, would be absolutely amenable to this, right? Isn't that what a normal person does when they're running for office? And they're challenged to a debate, and in the interest of giving the voters the ability to hear both sides. Yeah, that's not happening. Adam Schiff does not want to debate Steve Garvey. Now we'll see if Schiff actually takes up the debate offer. Thus far, his team has said no comment. Now, again, typically another campaign when reputable news organizations step forward, and League of Women Voters California, they're liberal. Typically, politicians say, sure, I'll debate. We'll see. I think the jury's out. Adam Schiff is the consummate liar. And so he, will go on a debate stage and he will just basically pontificate and lie and do all. Because remember, this is the same guy that said Russia collusion was happening and he had evidence, but he couldn't show you the evidence because he's on the Intel committee. And then, of course, we know how all that turned out. Yeah, there was no evidence and it was proven false. Schiff, of course, not held to task by the media. They never hold these liberal politicians to task for their lies. But I actually think that Garvey needs this debate. It would be an interesting way to get some free airtime. And, I don't think he did poorly in the first debate in the primary because all the Democrats were ganging up on him. He held his own. He could have been better. But I do think he needs to become the unpolitician in the next debate and say, look, I'm not your career politician. Here's why I'm running. California is in the ditch. All these bad policies in California have hurt us, and Adam Schiff wants to make that happen on a national level. And, of course, I'd like to see Garvey go after Schiff for his record level of dishonesty on so many issues. So we'll see if the debate goes off. If Schiff says no, and there's a high chance he'll say no, it's not like these media outlets will give Garvey free airtime. So that threat is not hanging over Schiff's head. So there's very little incentive for Schiff to actually do the debate. Why give your Republican opponent any airtime in California even though Garvey outraised Adam Schiff by a little bit in the last quarter, which was, again, a big surprise. Schiff still is way ahead in terms of cash on hand in his bank, because he's been a career politician for so many decades, and he's been building up his war chest. So we'll give you updates on the U.S. Senate debate in California if it does happen. Gavin Newsom, now that his presidential hopes have been dashed for this cycle, his shadow campaign has crashed and burned. And oh, isn't it so delicious to see that? Gavin Newsom now wants you to try out his podcast because, he's cool. He's laid back. Yeah, that's right, man. So Gavin Newsom, who is not your guy's guy. He's not your, Joe Sixpack. He's not your normal dude. He is an entitled brat. He's a frat boy brat, entitled. Everything handed to him on a silver platter, with all these rich donors teeing up things from him. Him being appointed. He's he's sponsored by the Getty family and Nancy Pelosi. So everything's been handed to him. He's not relatable to normal people in California. He's got a new podcast out. It's called Politickin. Politickin. With Gavin Newsom, Marshawn Lynch, I don't know who that is, and Doug Hendrickson. There's the Apple Podcast page. It's also sponsored by iHeart. So it's on your digital platforms. And the whole concept behind this podcast is that Gavin Newsom is trying to pretend like he's, again, relatable and just an average guy. So we're going to listen to a little bit just to give you a flavor of it. Now, remember, grab those barf bags. Get them ready. Get them ready. You're gonna lose your lunch. Here is Brotastic Gavin Newsom.
Man, what's happening, man? You got Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch,
Doug Hendrickson,
and Gavin Newsom, and you're listening to Politickin.
Chillin' on the beat.
I love that you're lounging like we're just trying to show off your biceps, man. What is this?
Okay, right into it. The first 6 seconds. I love that you're just kind of lounging. You're trying to show off your biceps, man. Cringeworthy. Absolutely cringeworthy. It's Gavin Newsom just hanging with the homies. Who said that this was a good idea, Gavin Newsom? Did you actually think that this would make you relatable? It makes most people see you for what you are, a complete fraud, and just, they just want to smack you. Oh, look at those biceps, man. That's right. Yeah.
Are you still working out all the time? What happened?
Are you still working out all the time? What happened, man?
Honestly.
Not all the time.
How often you working out?
Enough not to be hella fat.
Yeah. By the way, Marshawn did say he looked younger than me.
All right, that's it. I can't handle it anymore. It goes on for 47 minutes with that sort of nonsense. Puke-worthy nonsense. Not playing it, but the highlights come from our buddy over at California Globe, Evan Simon, and he's got just a couple quotes that I want to share with you from Newsom's podcast. Of course, the topic of the presidential race came up in the podcast, and this guy Lynch says, "Hey now, Gavin, why the blank you ain't running for president, bruh?" Did they script this out? They probably, how the Biden team would script out specific questions for reporters. I'm sure that Gavin's political team scripted out this question directly with all the tone. Hell no, Gavin. Why the F you ain't running for president, bruh? Newsom, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna hold my beer. That's right. We're gonna get to that. Yeah. That's right. Oh, God. So Newsom was avoiding the question the whole podcast. And Lynch kept asking the question. Again, this is also scripted because these politicians don't want to answer a question when people say, oh, are you going to run for higher office? And oh, my goodness. People are asking me all the time, but no. I don't want to talk about that. So they probably said, can you ask the question 18 times? And they did. Again, on a podcast. Doesn't sound natural, right? You know, you're sitting there talking to someone and, you know, they're talking about biceps and, you know, whether you're working out and, you know, how's the dating life going? Oh, I can't believe she did that to you. Oh boy, you know, she treated you wrong. All that nonsense. And then, oh, by the way, why haven't you been running for president? No, normal people don't talk that way. Eventually, Newsom said, after talking about the Trump assassination attempt, Newsom said, Marshawn, I'll tell you what's going on. People are all in now for Kamala Harris. That's right. They're all in, man. I mean, you got to check it out. Have you seen it? It's the greatest movie, presidential campaign ever. Kamala Harris all in. I mean, she went from being a complete dumb as dirt ditz, word salad spewing, irrelevant vice president, DEI hire, and now she's a rock star. Completely inauthentic, not genuine whatsoever. And again, as I mentioned, puke-worthy and cringeworthy. And then Newsom brings up an Alameda prosecutor. The comment was, you've got your own Oakland girl, Oakland through and through, Alameda County prosecutor who's going to prosecute the case against Trump. Is he talking about Harris? I have no idea. He's calling, I guess, Harris an Oakland girl, Oakland through and through. She's an Oakland girl. What's that, like a Valley girl in Los Angeles? She's an Oakland girl. I wonder what that means. I don't even want to answer that. I don't want people to get all upset and offended and try to cancel the show. Lynch then responds, I wonder if she prosecuted my daddy. Not touching it with a 10-foot pole. Wonder if she prosecuted my daddy. Because this is what real people talk about. That's right. Yeah, with the governor of California, who's brotastic. A thinly veiled attempt to try to make Gavin Newsom look human makes him look absolutely robotic, absolutely inauthentic, and like some sort of alien pod person. Anyway, I do not suggest that you check this out. I would not want this on my worst enemy. And frankly, I think that in terrorist interrogations, you no longer have to waterboard. All you have to do is just force them to listen to Gavin Newsom's Politickin podcast on continuous loop. You will get secrets that you would never be able to get from anyone else in a matter of literally a short period of time. Just a couple hours of them having to listen to this crap. You will get anything you want out of these folks. Anyway, at Reform California, we bring you a real podcast here, authentic, fact-based, not the far-left liberal spin that you get fed by every news outlet in the state of California. We give you the news that you can use and an alternative take on California news and politics. I urge you to share this video, get other people to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, 84% of you actually have not subscribed to the channel yet. Please subscribe, smash that subscription button. It's free here on YouTube, as well as like the video. Plus, follow us on reformcalifornia.org. This is our beautiful website where you can get all sorts of news and information on so many different topics. Plus, sign up for our voter guide. We send that out the first week of October. so that you know the plain English description of every initiative on the California ballot this fall. The politicians are trying to lie to you. Don't let them get by with that. Get the plain English version of what's on your ballot by signing up at reformcalifornia.org at the bottom there. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.